In the last episode, my companions and I were reeling from the aftermath of our recent ordeal, struggling to come to terms with our losses and regrouping in a desperate bid to survive. A cryptic message from a mysterious ally had set our sights on the long-abandoned Aetherian Outpost, hidden within the treacherous Undercroft, rekindling hope and determination to uncover ancient knowledge and powerful artifacts. The message had been brief, but its impact was profound, and we knew that we had to act quickly to capitalize on this new lead. I stood at the edge of our makeshift camp, gazing out into the darkness of the Undercroft. The air was thick with the smell of damp earth and decay, and the sound of distant seismic shifts echoed through the tunnels like a constant reminder of the dangers that lay ahead. "We have to move," I thought to myself. "We can't afford to waste any more time." I turned to my companions, a grizzled group of survivors who had become like family to me. "Let's gear up," I said. "We've got a long journey ahead of us." My companion, Marcus, nodded in agreement. "We've been over this, Alex. We know the risks, but we also know what we're looking for." I nodded, my mind racing with the possibilities. The Aetherian Outpost was said to hold secrets and treasures beyond our wildest dreams, and I knew that we had to be careful. The Shadowhand Clan, ruthless treasure hunters, were also on the hunt, and I had no doubt that they would stop at nothing to get what they wanted. As we set off into the unknown, I couldn't shake the feeling that we were being watched. The Undercroft was a labyrinthine network of tunnels and caverns, and I knew that we had to be careful to avoid getting lost. Suddenly, a figure emerged from the shadows. "You're heading in the right direction," she said, her voice low and husky, "but you're not going to make it without some help." I narrowed my eyes, trying to get a better look at her. She was tall and lean, with a mop of curly brown hair and a pair of goggles perched on her forehead. "Who are you?" I asked. "My name is Lyrian," she replied. "I'm an explorer, and I know the Undercroft like the back of my hand." I hesitated for a moment, unsure if I could trust her, but something about her words resonated with me. "What do you want in return for your help?" Marcus asked, his hand on the hilt of his sword. Lyrian smiled, a mischievous glint in her eye. "Oh, I think we can come to some sort of arrangement. I have a friend who's been tracking your progress. She might be willing to help you out." She pulled out a small, intricately carved stone from her pocket. "This is Kaida," she said. "She's a scavenger, and she's got skills that will come in handy in the Undercroft." I took the stone, feeling a surge of excitement. This could be the break we needed. "Let's get moving," I said to my companions. "We've got a long way to go." As we journeyed deeper into the Undercroft, the tunnels grew narrower and the air thickened with an otherworldly energy. I could feel it pulsing through my veins, a strange power that seemed to be calling to me. And then, without warning, the ground gave way beneath our feet. I fell hard, the wind knocked out of me. As I struggled to catch my breath, I realized that we were not alone. A massive creature, its body a twisted mass of writhing tendrils and pulsing bioluminescent markings, loomed over us. "We have to get out of here," I thought, my heart racing with fear. But as I looked up at Lyrian and Kaida, I saw something that gave me hope. They were ready for this, and I knew that we were going to make it through this together. But just as we were about to face this new threat, a loud rumbling sound shook the ground, and I realized that we were not the only ones who were closing in on the outpost. The Shadowhand Clan was getting close, and I had a feeling that our biggest challenge was yet to come. Previously, we had just received a cryptic message from a mysterious ally, leading us to the long-abandoned Aetherian Outpost hidden within the treacherous Undercroft. We had set off into the unknown, determined to uncover ancient knowledge and powerful artifacts, but aware that the ruthless Shadowhand Clan was also on the hunt. As we journeyed deeper into the Undercroft, we had formed an alliance with Lyrian, a brilliant explorer, and Kaida, a resourceful scavenger, who were aiding us in deciphering ancient texts and overcoming formidable challenges. As I looked up at Lyrian and Kaida, I saw a fierce determination in their eyes. They were ready to face the creature that loomed over us, and I knew that we were going to make it through this together. The creature, a massive being with a twisted mass of writhing tendrils and pulsing bioluminescent markings, seemed to be assessing us, its gaze lingering on each of us before moving on to the next. Lyrian whispered, her voice barely audible over the sound of my own heartbeat. "It's a Scarvok, a creature of the deep Undercroft. We need to be careful. It's highly aggressive and can sense the vibrations of our footsteps from a great distance." I nodded, my mind racing with the implications. We had to move quickly and quietly if we were going to survive. Kaida, who had been quiet until now, spoke up, her voice low and steady. "I think I can help with that. I've got some knowledge of the Scarvok's weaknesses. If we can get close enough, I can try to disable it." I turned to her, a surge of gratitude rising up in me. "What do you need from us?" I asked. Kaida pulled out a small device from her pack and held it up. "I need you to create a diversion, something to distract the Scarvok while I get into position." Lyrian nodded, a plan forming in her eyes. "I've got an idea. Kaida, can you get into position behind that rock over there?" Kaida nodded and moved swiftly to her designated spot. Lyrian turned to us. "Okay, here's the plan. We'll create a diversion by throwing some rocks and making a loud noise. While the Scarvok is focused on us, Kaida will sneak up behind it and disable it." I nodded, a sense of excitement rising up in me. This was it. This was our chance to overcome this obstacle and continue on our quest. We put the plan into action, throwing rocks and making a loud noise. The Scarvok immediately responded, its tendrils writhing in our direction. As it moved towards us, Kaida snuck up behind it, her device at the ready. With a swift motion, she activated the device, and the Scarvok let out a deafening screech as it stumbled and fell to the ground. We took advantage of the distraction to move forward, our hearts pounding in our chests. As we caught our breath, I turned to Lyrian and Kaida. "Thanks for your help back there," I said, a sense of gratitude rising up in me. Lyrian smiled, her eyes sparkling with amusement. "Any time," she said. "We make a good team." Kaida nodded in agreement. "We do, and I think we're getting close to our goal." I nodded, a sense of excitement rising up in me. We were getting close. I could feel it. As we journeyed deeper into the Undercroft, the air grew thick with an otherworldly energy. I could feel it pulsing through my veins, a strange power that seemed to be calling to me. Suddenly, Lyrian stopped, her head cocked to one side. "Do you hear that?" she asked. I listened, and after a moment, I heard it too. A low, rumbling sound, growing louder by the second. The Shadowhand Clan. My heart sank, and I knew that our biggest challenge was yet to come. We had to move quickly if we were going to reach the outpost before they did. "Let's go," I said, my voice low and urgent. "We can't afford to waste any more time." We moved swiftly, our hearts pounding in our chests. The rumbling sound grew louder, and I could feel the ground shaking beneath my feet. And then, just as we were about to turn a corner, we saw it. A massive army of Shadowhand Clan warriors, their faces twisted with greed and determination. They had found us, but I wasn't afraid. I knew that we had come too far to turn back now. We had the skills, the knowledge, and the determination to overcome any obstacle. And with Lyrian and Kaida by my side, I knew that we were going to make it through this, together. We readied ourselves for battle, our hearts pounding in our chests. The Shadowhand Clan was closing in, and it was time to face them head-on. In that moment, I felt a surge of hope and determination. We were in this together, and we were going to come out on top. With a fierce cry, we charged forward, ready to face whatever lay ahead. The battle was on, and we were ready to fight for our lives and our future. As we clashed with the Shadowhand Clan, I felt a sense of growth and empowerment. We were no longer just survivors. We were a team, united in our quest for knowledge and power. And with every step forward, I knew that we were one step closer to unlocking the secrets of the Aetherian Outpost and claiming our rightful place in the world of Aetheria. The battle raged on, but I was no longer afraid. I was ready for whatever lay ahead, and I knew that we would emerge victorious in the end. But as the dust settled and the Shadowhand Clan retreated, I couldn't shake off the feeling that there was still more to come. The Undercroft was full of secrets, and we had only scratched the surface. I looked at Lyrian and Kaida, and I knew that we would face whatever lay ahead together. We had forged a bond of trust and loyalty, and I knew that it would see us through the trials to come. And so, with a sense of hope and determination, we pressed on into the unknown, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The journey was far from over, but I knew that we would make it through, together. And when we finally emerged from the Undercroft, I knew that we would be heroes, our names etched in the annals of history, our legacy forever remembered. The thought sent a surge of excitement through me, and I grinned, feeling a sense of pride and purpose. We were in this together, and we would see it through to the end. And as we walked, the darkness of the Undercroft seemed to recede, replaced by a sense of hope and possibility. We were on the cusp of something great, and I knew that we would make it happen. The future was uncertain, but one thing was clear: we would face it together, as a team, united in our quest for knowledge, power, and redemption. The journey ahead would be long and difficult, but I was ready. I was ready to face whatever lay ahead, armed with the knowledge, skills, and determination that had brought us to this point. And with Lyrian and Kaida by my side, I knew that we would triumph no matter what challenges lay ahead. The Undercroft was full of secrets, but I was ready to uncover them one by one with my newfound friends by my side. The adventure was far from over, but I was ready. Bring it on! In the distance, I saw a glimmer of light, a beacon of hope in the darkness. The Aetherian Outpost was within our grasp, and I knew that our journey was about to take a dramatic turn. The stakes were high, but I was ready. I was ready to face whatever lay ahead, armed with the knowledge, skills, and determination that had brought us to this point. The future was uncertain, but one thing was clear: we would face it together, as a team, united in our quest for knowledge, power, and redemption. And so, with a sense of hope and determination, we pressed on into the unknown, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The journey was far from over, but I knew that we would make it through, together. The darkness of the Undercroft seemed to recede, replaced by a sense of hope and possibility. We were on the cusp of something great, and I knew that we would make it happen. The thought sent a surge of excitement through me, and I grinned, feeling a sense of pride and purpose. We were in this together, and we would see it through to the end. The future was uncertain, but one thing was clear: we would face it together, as a team, united in our quest for knowledge, power, and redemption. The adventure was far from over, but I was ready. Bring it on. Previously, we had just formed an alliance with Lyrian and Kaida, and together we had overcome a massive Scarvok creature and a battalion of Shadowhand Clan warriors. As we pressed on, the Aetherian Outpost loomed ahead, its entrance guarded by ancient, crumbling structures that seemed to hold secrets and dangers within. With our determination and newfound skills, we were ready to face whatever lay ahead. As we approached the entrance, I could feel a strange energy emanating from within. It was a pulsating power that seemed to be calling to me, drawing me closer. Lyrian and Kaida exchanged a glance, their eyes shining with excitement and a hint of trepidation. "We're close," Lyrian whispered, her voice barely audible over the sound of my own heartbeat. "The outpost is just through that entrance." I nodded, my mind racing with anticipation. We had come so far, and now we were finally on the cusp of unlocking the secrets of the Aetherian Outpost. As we stepped through the entrance, we were met with a sight that took my breath away. A vast, cavernous space stretched out before us, filled with ancient artifacts and mysterious devices that seemed to defy understanding. The air was thick with an otherworldly energy, and I could feel it coursing through my veins like a river of power. But we were not alone. A figure emerged from the shadows, its eyes glowing with an intense blue light. It was a woman, tall and statuesque, with skin that seemed to shimmer and glow like the surface of a pearl. "Welcome, Alex and friends," she said, her voice like music. "I have been waiting for you. My name is Ariel, and I am the guardian of this outpost." I felt a surge of curiosity and wariness. Who was this woman, and what did she want from us? Ariel smiled, as if reading my thoughts. "Do not be afraid," she said. "I mean you no harm. I have been charged with protecting the secrets of the outpost, and I have been waiting for one such as you to arrive." I exchanged a glance with Lyrian and Kaida, and we nodded in unison. We were ready to hear what Ariel had to say. "Please," I said, "tell us more." Ariel nodded, and with a wave of her hand, the air seemed to shimmer and part, revealing a series of ancient artifacts and devices that seemed to hold the key to unlocking the secrets of the outpost. "This is a repository of ancient knowledge," Ariel explained. "The Aetherians who built this outpost were masters of the arcane arts, and they left behind a legacy of power and wisdom. But it is not just knowledge that I guard. I also protect the artifacts themselves, which hold the key to unlocking the secrets of the universe." As Ariel spoke, I felt a sense of awe and wonder. We had stumbled into something much bigger than ourselves, something that could change the course of history. But as I looked around, I noticed that we were not alone. A group of Shadowhand Clan warriors, led by the enigmatic leader, had infiltrated the outpost, and they were closing in on us. "It seems that we have unexpected visitors," Ariel said, her eyes flashing with a fierce determination. "Let us prepare to defend the outpost and its secrets." With that, the battle began. Ariel unleashed a barrage of arcane energy, while Lyrian and Kaida fought with skill and precision. I joined the fray, using my own abilities to take down the Shadowhand Clan warriors. As the battle raged on, I felt a sense of growth and empowerment. We were no longer just survivors, we were a team united in our quest for knowledge and power. And with Ariel's help, we were able to overcome the Shadowhand Clan and claim the outpost as our own. As the dust settled, Ariel approached us, a smile on her face. "Well done," she said. "You have proven yourselves worthy of the knowledge and power that lies within this outpost." I felt a surge of excitement and anticipation. What secrets lay hidden within the outpost, and how would we unlock them? Ariel seemed to sense my eagerness. "The outpost is filled with ancient artifacts and devices," she said. "But to unlock its secrets, you must first understand the language of the Aetherians." She led us to a large crystal orb that pulsed with an otherworldly energy. "This is the heart of the outpost," she said. "It holds the key to unlocking the secrets of the Aetherians. But to activate it, you must first decipher the subterranean dialect, an ancient language that holds the secrets of the outpost." I exchanged a glance with Lyrian and Kaida. We had come so far, and now we were on the cusp of unlocking the secrets of the Aetherian Outpost. With Ariel's guidance, we set to work deciphering the subterranean dialect. It was a challenging task, but with our combined skills and knowledge, we were able to unlock the secrets of the language. As we worked, I felt a sense of hope and determination. We were on the cusp of something great, something that could change the course of history, and when we finally activated the heart of the outpost, I felt a surge of power and energy. The outpost was alive, and it was ready to share its secrets with us. The journey was far from over, but I knew that we would make it through, together. And when we finally emerged from the outpost, I knew that we would be heroes, our names etched in the annals of history, our legacy forever remembered. The thought sent a surge of excitement through me, and I grinned, feeling a sense of pride and purpose. We were in this together, and we would see it through to the end. The future was uncertain, but one thing was clear: we would face it together as a team, united in our quest for knowledge, power, and redemption. As we stood there, bathed in the glow of the heart of the outpost, I knew that our journey was about to take a dramatic turn. The stakes were high, but I was ready. I was ready to face whatever lay ahead, armed with the knowledge, skills, and determination that had brought us to this point. The adventure was far from over, but I was ready. Bring it on! But little did I know, a new challenge was emerging on the horizon, a challenge that would test our skills, our knowledge, and our resolve, a challenge that would change everything. As we celebrated our victory, a strange energy signature appeared on the horizon. It was a signal, one that seemed to be calling to us. Ariel's eyes narrowed. "That is a signal from the Aetherian Council," she said. "It seems that they have received our transmission, and they are responding." I felt a surge of excitement and anticipation. What did the Aetherian Council want from us? Ariel smiled. "It seems that our journey is about to take a new turn. Are you ready, Alex and friends?" I nodded, my heart pounding with excitement. We were ready. We were ready to face whatever lay ahead, armed with the knowledge, skills, and determination that had brought us to this point. The adventure was far from over, but I was ready. Bring it on. Previously, Ariel had revealed herself as the guardian of the Aetherian Outpost, and we had successfully defended it against the Shadowhand Clan. With Ariel's guidance, we had deciphered the subterranean dialect and activated the heart of the outpost, unlocking its secrets and harnessing its power. As we basked in the glow of our triumph, a mysterious energy signature appeared on the horizon, signaling a response from the Aetherian Council. The signal grew stronger, and Ariel's eyes sparkled with a mix of curiosity and caution. "The Aetherian Council's response is unexpected," she said, "but it may hold the key to unlocking new possibilities for Aetheria." With a wave of her hand, the air seemed to shimmer, and a holographic projection materialized before us. The projection depicted a woman with long, silver hair and piercing blue eyes. She wore a flowing white robe adorned with intricate swirling patterns that seemed to shift and change as she spoke. "Greetings, Alex and companions," she said, her voice like music. "I am Archon Erebus, leader of the Aetherian Council. We have been monitoring your progress, and we are impressed. Your determination and ingenuity have earned you a place among the greatest heroes of Aetheria." Ariel stepped forward, a look of respect on her face. "Archon Erebus, it is an honor to receive your transmission." Archon Erebus' gaze swept across us, her eyes lingering on each of us. "We have a proposition for you. The Aetherian Outpost you have unlocked is but one of several scattered across the planet. Each outpost holds a piece of the ancient knowledge and power that once flowed through Aetheria. We believe that you and your companions are the chosen ones, destined to unlock the secrets of the outposts and restore Aetheria to its former glory." Lyrian's eyes widened. "What do you mean by chosen ones?" Archon Erebus' smile was enigmatic. "You have demonstrated a unique combination of skills, knowledge, and determination. We believe that you have the potential to wield the power of the outposts and bring balance to Aetheria. But be warned, the journey ahead will be fraught with danger, and not everyone will survive." Kaida's voice was laced with skepticism. "Why us? What's so special about us?" Archon Erebus' gaze seemed to bore into our souls. "You have shown that you can work together, that you can trust each other, and that you can overcome even the most daunting challenges. These are the qualities that will be required of you as you embark on this journey. We will provide you with guidance and support, but ultimately, the success of your mission depends on your ability to work together and trust each other." As Archon Erebus finished speaking, the holographic projection flickered and vanished. We stood there, looking at each other, the weight of the challenge settling upon us. Ariel broke the silence. "The Aetherian Council's proposition is a great honor, but it is also a daunting task. We must consider the risks and the rewards." I took a deep breath, feeling the familiar surge of determination. "We've come this far, and we're not going to back down now. We're in this together, and we'll see it through to the end." Lyrian and Kaida nodded in agreement, and Ariel smiled. "Then let us begin. The journey ahead will be long and difficult, but with the power of the outposts and the guidance of the Aetherian Council, I believe that we can succeed." With a sense of purpose and determination, we set out on our new journey, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. We knew that the road would be fraught with danger, but we were ready to face it together as a team. As we ventured deeper into the unknown, we encountered a group of nomadic tribespeople who possessed ancient knowledge of the outposts and the secrets they held. They shared with us the legend of the Aetherian elders, powerful beings who had harnessed the energy of the outposts to create a utopian society. The tribe's people's leader, a wise and aged woman named Akira, revealed to us that the Aetherian elders had left behind a series of trials designed to test the worthiness of those who sought to wield the power of the outposts. "We must be prepared to face these trials," Akira said, her eyes serious. "They will push us to our limits and beyond. But if we succeed, we will be granted access to the secrets of the outposts, and we will be one step closer to restoring Aetheria to its former glory." I felt a surge of excitement and trepidation. We were about to embark on a journey that would test our skills, our knowledge, and our resolve. But we were ready. We were ready to face whatever lay ahead, armed with the knowledge, skills, and determination that had brought us to this point. The adventure was far from over, but I was ready. Bring it on. Previously, we had just received a transmission from Archon Erebus, leader of the Aetherian Council, who revealed that we were chosen to unlock the secrets of several ancient outposts scattered across the planet, and that our success would depend on our ability to work together and trust each other. With a newfound sense of purpose, we had set out on our journey, ready to face the challenges that lay ahead, and had encountered a group of nomadic tribespeople who shared with us the legend of the Aetherian elders and the trials that lay in store for us. Akira, the tribespeople's leader, had warned us that the trials would push us to our limits, but that they were necessary to prove our worthiness to wield the power of the outposts. As we ventured deeper into the unknown, the air grew thick with an otherworldly energy that seemed to reverberate through every cell of our bodies. The sky above was a deep, foreboding purple, and the ground beneath our feet trembled with seismic activity. We had been traveling for days, and the landscape had grown increasingly treacherous, but we pressed on, driven by our determination to succeed. Lyrian consulted the ancient texts we had acquired, her eyes scanning the pages with a mixture of fascination and concern. "The trials are designed to test our skills, our knowledge, and our resolve," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "But they are also meant to prepare us for the true challenge that lies ahead, harnessing the power of the outposts." Kaida nodded, her eyes fixed on the horizon. "And what if we fail?" she asked, her voice laced with a hint of fear. Ariel's expression was grim. "If we fail, we risk being cast out of the Aetherian Council's favor and potentially losing access to the knowledge and power that could help us restore Aetheria to its former glory." I took a deep breath, feeling the weight of responsibility settling upon me. "We won't fail," I said, my voice firm. "We've come too far, and we've worked too hard. We'll face these trials head-on, and we'll emerge victorious." As I spoke, a burst of energy erupted from the ground, sending us stumbling backward. The seismic activity intensified, and the air was filled with the sound of rumbling rocks and screams of subterranean creatures. "We need to find shelter!" Lyrian shouted above the din. "Now!" We quickly scanned our surroundings, our eyes locking onto a nearby cave entrance. We sprinted toward it, dodging falling rocks and leaping over chasms as we went. As we stumbled into the cave, the seismic activity seemed to intensify, and the air grew colder. We huddled together, our hearts pounding in our chests, and waited for the tremors to pass. When they finally subsided, we emerged from the cave, blinking in the bright light of the Aetherian sun. The landscape had changed, and we found ourselves standing at the edge of a vast, underground lake. The water was crystal clear, and it seemed to stretch on forever. A series of ancient, crumbling structures rose from the lake's surface, their architecture unlike anything we had seen before. Ariel's eyes sparkled with excitement. "This is it," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "This is the first trial." As we approached the structures, we noticed that they were covered in intricate carvings and symbols. Lyrian's eyes widened as she examined them. "These are the markings of the Aetherian elders," she said. "They're a puzzle, and they hold the key to unlocking the trial." Kaida nodded, her eyes scanning the symbols. "I think I can help with that," she said, her voice filled with confidence. Together, we set to work deciphering the puzzle, using our combined skills and knowledge to unlock the secrets of the carvings. As we worked, the air grew thick with anticipation, and the energy of the outposts seemed to build in intensity. Finally, with a burst of insight, Kaida solved the puzzle, and the structures began to glow with a soft, blue light. The light enveloped us, and we felt ourselves being transported to a different realm. When the light faded, we found ourselves standing in a vast, empty chamber. The air was still, and the only sound was the echo of our own breathing. But as we looked around, we realized that we were not alone. A figure stood at the far end of the chamber, its back to us. It was a woman, tall and statuesque, with long, flowing hair and piercing green eyes. She wore a flowing white robe, and her presence seemed to radiate an aura of power and authority. "Welcome, Alex and companions," she said, her voice like music. "I am the guardian of the first trial. You have made it this far, but now you must face the true challenge." The guardian turned to face us, her eyes locking onto ours. "Are you prepared to face the trial?" she asked, her voice firm. We nodded, our hearts pounding in our chests. We knew that this was it, the moment of truth. The guardian smiled, her eyes glinting with a hint of mischief. "Then let us begin," she said, her voice dripping with anticipation. As she spoke, the chamber began to shift and change around us. The walls seemed to melt away, revealing a vast, underground landscape. The air grew thick with energy, and we felt ourselves being drawn into the heart of the trial. We took a deep breath, steeling ourselves for what lay ahead. We knew that this would be the most difficult challenge we had faced yet, but we were ready. We were ready to face whatever lay ahead, armed with the knowledge, skills, and determination that had brought us to this point. The trial had begun, and we were ready to face it head-on. Previously, the seismic activity had subsided, and we had emerged from the cave to find ourselves standing at the edge of a vast, underground lake where ancient, crumbling structures rose from the lake's surface, covered in intricate carvings and symbols that Lyrian identified as the markings of the Aetherian elders. Kaida had helped decipher the puzzle, and with a burst of insight, she had unlocked the secrets of the carvings, causing the structures to glow with a soft, blue light that transported us to a different realm. As the light faded, we found ourselves standing in a vast, empty chamber where a figure, the guardian of the first trial, stood waiting, her presence radiating an aura of power and authority. The guardian's eyes seemed to bore into our souls as she spoke, her voice like music. "You have made it this far, but now you must face the true challenge." Her words hung in the air, and we nodded, our hearts pounding in our chests, knowing that this was it, the moment of truth. The guardian smiled, her eyes glinting with a hint of mischief. "Then let us begin," she said, her voice dripping with anticipation. As she spoke, the chamber began to shift and change around us, the walls melting away to reveal a vast, underground landscape. We found ourselves standing at the edge of a massive, crystal-filled cavern, the air thick with energy. The guardian gestured to the cavern, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "In this trial, you must navigate the labyrinth of reflections, where your deepest fears and desires will be revealed. The labyrinth is filled with illusions and challenges that will test your resolve, your wits, and your courage." Ariel's eyes widened as she gazed into the cavern. "The labyrinth of reflections is a legendary maze," she whispered. "It's said that those who enter never return the same." The guardian nodded, her expression serious. "The labyrinth is a test of your inner strength, and it will push you to your limits. But if you succeed, you will be rewarded with a powerful artifact that will aid you in your quest." As we stepped into the labyrinth, the air seemed to thicken and the energy grew more intense. We found ourselves facing a maze of twisting corridors and dark, foreboding chambers, each one filled with illusions and challenges that seemed to test our deepest fears. Kaida stumbled, her eyes wide with fear. "What's happening?" she whispered, her voice trembling. Lyrian grasped her arm, her expression steady. "It's just an illusion," she said. "We need to focus on the path ahead." But as we pressed on, the illusions grew more intense, and we began to question what was real and what was not. Ariel became trapped in a cycle of self-doubt, reliving past failures and fears. I had to intervene, using my knowledge of her strengths to help her break free. Meanwhile, Lyrian encountered a hall of mirrors, where she was forced to confront her own insecurities and doubts. Kaida faced a seemingly endless staircase, where she had to find the courage to take the first step. As we navigated the labyrinth, we began to realize that the greatest challenge was not the physical obstacles, but our own inner demons. We had to confront our deepest fears and desires and overcome them in order to emerge victorious. The journey was long and arduous, but with each step we grew stronger, our bonds forged in the fire of adversity. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity, we reached the heart of the labyrinth where a glowing crystal awaited. The guardian appeared, her eyes shining with approval. "Well done," she said, her voice warm. "You have faced your fears and emerged victorious. The crystal is yours, and it will grant you the power to overcome even greater challenges ahead." As we accepted the crystal, its power surged through us, filling us with a sense of hope and determination. We knew that we still had much to face, but we were ready, armed with the knowledge, skills, and courage that had brought us to this point. But as we turned to leave the labyrinth, we heard a faint rumbling sound, growing louder by the second. The guardian's expression turned grave. "It seems that the Shadowhand Clan has breached the labyrinth's outer defenses," she said. "You must leave now and prepare to face the next challenge." We nodded, our hearts pounding in our chests. We knew that the stakes had just been raised and that our journey was far from over. But we were ready, armed with the power of the crystal and the bonds of friendship that had been forged in the fire of adversity. As we emerged from the labyrinth, we found ourselves back in the vast underground lake, the water crystal clear and calm. But we knew that the calm was short-lived and that the next challenge was just around the corner. We took a deep breath, steeling ourselves for what lay ahead. We knew that the journey would be long and difficult, but we were ready. We were ready to face whatever lay ahead, armed with the knowledge, skills, and determination that had brought us to this point. The question was, what lay ahead, and were we prepared to face it? Only time would tell.